TradeTheNBA.com. This is John's report is for the 14th. Well, I was speaking facetiously about how nothing had changed, and yet we were having this nice rally. Um, Everything was looking good except for the fact that we were leading with red MBI over the magenta, and it was just a matter of when that flipped over, and we began to see it start intraday, and it accelerated immediately upon the revelation that wow, in fact. Inflation is not under control, and sort of that realization set in that the Fed is going to continue to do what the Fed said it was going to do, that the market was generally ignoring because they just couldn't believe that there was actually going to be a tightening cycle. Now, keep in mind that historically, every tightening cycle of the Fed has led to a recession. It's just a fait accompli. The question becomes how soft is that recession or severe? Um, if they go really aggressive with the interest rates like they did in the 70s, we know that's going to be a pretty significant recession. Little less or some kind of change in the policies related to energy in that, and you could have a very soft landing. So the reality is you can kind of look at where things are at. Now, obviously, with midterms coming up, maybe things change. Will that change the policies? Probably not all that much because a lot of it is executive action, and you're still likely to be in somewhat of a divided Congress, unable to move things, and uh, that at least would create less spending, which from a positive standpoint there. From an NQ, we can see the exact same thing. But the white MBI really, surprisingly, really moved well over. And in this particular case, the magenta dipping below not only the 33, but also white and getting below 25. That's really bad from a long standpoint. But no change. I mean, this was always maintained at red. And this was one of the programming questions is like, yes, we can get these rallies, and sometimes they convert and we capture green a little later. Um, and so I made the modification from a daily standpoint, but you can see that it rarely lasts long. And when they flip, it's usually pretty fast. From a euro standpoint, well, that was a death deal to the euro because while there was this excitement that the euro was, going to recover because, well, the U.S. was, going to spend just as much and not be, tight with their money. But no, interest rates are going to be rising. That will make the U.S. more attractive than Europe, and nothing has changed in Europe. It is still a disaster, and the fact that we're even at parity is impressive manipulation because. It's sad in the eurozone. There's no other way to describe it. From gold standpoint, didn't move, even though it should, with the rates doing what they're doing and inflation as it is. But yeah, we have that bifurcation of the markets now, and you have a significant portion that's been removed from it since Russia has always been a strong proponent of gold as a back into the currency. And of course, oil, now they're talking about refilling the petroleum reserve after having emptied it when they bought it at 40. Now they want to fill it in the 80s to drive price up a little bit. But of course, they'll wait till just after the election to do that, which is the strangest thing why you would want to fill it with more expensive than you used to just try and modify price when they could have just modified price by allowing more drilling. But we won't even go into that debate. The reality is, oil is artificially high, which has created the artificial inflation, which is a supply side situation that no matter how much they raise interest rates, it's not going to change that effect. What we do see is what was obvious to us, that TLT would drop, and my expectation would be down towards that 101 range, but we're down, well, we dropped to 106 the other day, made a new low there. It has to, the Fed is bringing rates up, and seemed pretty obvious trade from way back in August, but for some people it was a surprise. Who knew? Bitcoin, after its nice bounce, moving right back into this. It hasn't changed this range. We've been talking about this range for how long now? This 22 to the 18 plus, and it's found support. So that's all that you need to know from there. So we had that long that was going, and clearly that turnaround flip and took the sell there, but then entered in for the short, and nice ride for the shorts on those. So that was clean. And here it was 5K. This is where it all started right here. Nice little dramatic move. We'd already seen the beginnings of the breakdown, and then full DOC spread right there. And boom, plummet now. There's a reason we leave a lot of these positive extreme markers in there. Some of them hadn't been filled because we had this nice couple day rally. And sure enough, boom, isn't it amazing how it just seems like it's a random support line and then becomes overhead resistance line. And then we move further on. This is a big day. That's a lot of volume because usually the entire day will fit in one screen. I've already done one screen. This is a second screen. We still don't have the rest of the day in it. So that's significant. But came down just above the previous low algo that was right here at the 39 range. That was a long way ago when we were just at the 41s. And finally came back to it, broke down, and then we started visiting the other one right in between. And then we found support at a 39.38. Seems like a random number. It wasn't to us. Previous algo there, and then capped out at the 39.67 was an additional one. So there you have it, back and forth to it. Finally got above it here in the pre-market, and then we're right at the 39.70 algo level that's right there. And there's a little softness right here, but we're not seeing much action from MBI white to really drive things down. So that beautiful day. There's no other way to describe it. It was fantastic. Did everything that would have expected and more. I mean, that was some serious carnage for those not able to adapt to what those signals were, and it was pretty clean for us. I mean, this is just beautiful one-way action and phenomenal range. So, very exciting stuff. As always, though, look for me in the Skype chat. Well, getting ready to get my new microphone installed. This will be fantastic when it's ready to rock and roll. So, all sorts of excitement. Trade well. Have a good one.